California's Golden Parks is made possible by Toyota, who is committed to keeping the air clean at all our beautiful parks with its hybrid Synergy drive technology. In vehicles like the innovative Prius, Highlander Hybrid, and the Camry Hybrid, lower emissions and higher gas mileage help hybrid Synergy drive vehicles create a minimal impact on the environment. So take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy another one of California's Golden Parks.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Huell. Here we are on this beautiful morning on our state's central coast. We're right off the coastal highway, Highway 1, right over there. And look where we are. We're at this beautiful beach right here on the coast. This is called San Simeon State Beach, which is part of San Simeon State Park. World famous Hearst Castle is just a couple of miles up the road. And we're getting ready to go on an honest-to-goodness adventure. Our adventure guide is going to be, introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, my name's Leander Tamoria.
Okay, you're based right up here in this area.
Exactly, I am.
So you're used to seeing stuff like this?
Yes, very much so. This is pretty much what we have here along the Central Coast, and we're pretty excited because we're going to be getting 13 more miles of scenery just like this.
That's what we're here in search of, because this state beach has been a state beach and has been open to the public for over 50 years now. But the state park system has just acquired a lot of new land to add to this state beach. How much new land has the state just gotten hold of?
We're talking over 800 acres along that 13-mile coastline.
13 miles of additional coastline. And that's all going to be part of this new expanded San Simeon State Park.
Yes, sir.
All right, now what makes this exciting is that a lot of this new land has never been seen by the public, at least for over 100 years, because it was private land owned by the Hearst family over the years.
It's been owned by Hearst family for several generations back to the 1800s.
All right, so now this new land is opening up. It's in the process of being looked at and mapped out and worked out into this new state park, but we're getting kind of a preview of this new land. So we're going to go on an adventure today and nose around and see what's out there. We're going to be going up the coast. Look how beautiful this is. And we're going to be going inland. We're going to be staying on the water. We're going to be all over the place, aren't we?
We are.
This is going to be exciting. We are in search of our newly expanded San Simeon State Park, which is definitely one of California's golden parks.
I love you, California. You're the greatest state of all. I love you in the winter, summer, spring, and in the fall.
Okay, our first stop on this adventure, and this is a good sign. We're unlocking the gate and coming in. Where are we going, Leander? Where have you brought us on this first stop?
This is Arroyo Laguna, one of the most popular places for windsurfers and kiteboarders out here. If you mention the name Arroyo Laguna, everyone will know exactly where you're talking about. One of the most popular destinations for windsurfers because of the high wind that comes along this coastline and gets them the ability to climb up and down and surf along the beach here.
Now, but what's interesting about this is, up until now, this has been private Hearst family land. So these surfers, these windsurfers, technically have been trespassing, haven't they?
It's hard to keep out a dedicated windsurfer.
But I mean, I guess what we're saying, though, is that a lot of this land, a lot of this new 13-mile acquisition has been land that people have been using in the past. Even though it was private land, they've still been coming on it and using it.
It's hard to keep the public away from the natural resources out here, and that's why State Parks is committed to opening things up in order to get the public to use these facilities.
Okay, now what's going to happen here? What is State Parks going to do with this stretch of land right now? Or is that the big question that is still being mulled over, exactly how you're going to use all of this?
Well, the first thing we have to do, Huell, is to find out exactly what we have. Even though what you see here is a beautiful, pristine beach, we don't know if we have any Indian mittens out here, or we don't know if there's any endangered species. So we have to take an assessment, a biological assessment of what's in our property.
Now wait a minute. Here's some cow piles down here. So we know that we've had cows out here, right?
There's one right out there, Huell.
Oh, okay. He's resting out in the meadow out here.
Yes, we still have a little bit of trespass by the cattle. They sneak in under the bridge and come out here and graze on greener grass.
These are Hearst family cattle, right?
Exactly. They've been here for hundreds of years, so who knows how long they're going to be sneaking out here. Hopefully
they were here before the windsurfers.
Exactly.
All right, now this is an absolutely spectacular beach. After this becomes, and it's opened up as a state park, will it have its own name as a beach? Will you rename it? Will you?
Whatever we rename it, people will just refer to it as Arroyo Laguna.
So it's always going to be Arroyo Laguna.
It'll be part of the San Simeon State Beach. One thing I want to mention is that we have to balance the delicate balance of natural resources and the users out here. Where we're standing right now is going to be a very, very popular spot, not only for windsurfers, but for elephant seals. Where we're standing, we'll probably have several harems of giant elephant seals roaming along and mating along the beach out here in the wintertime.
Now, how do you fix it so that there can be a good relationship between mating elephant seals and windsurfers? That seems like a very unlikely alliance here.
Occasionally it does happen, but as long as we start educating the public and keep and develop a sense of respect for nature, I think we can balance the two.
Boy, so people will be able to come here and watch the elephant seals during their season. They'll be able to come here and windsurf. There are people out here fishing right now.
It's going to be a very popular spot, more so than it is today.
So up until this acquisition, all of this land that we're seeing right here, all of this was private Hearst family land.
That they've held for hundreds of years.
And now, everything we're looking at down the coast is part of this beautiful new San Simeon State Park.
And we're pretty excited about it.
Boy, everybody's having a good time out on the beach this morning. Good morning, Huell Hauser.
I recognize you.
How are you doing?
Good.
Well, tell us about what it's like to be out here with your family on this glorious day.
It's great with the kids. They love it. I went surfing this morning on my own, and then brought my son here this late morning. And yeah, we come here a lot. This is my friend Aaron.
Is that another surfer out there?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't really surfed with him. We just moved up here from Orange County.
I gotcha.
And
well, have you heard the big news that this is a new state park? All of this land?
Yes, I.
What did you heard about it?
I just heard recently that they've converted it. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm grateful for this whole area up
Well,
here.
it's kind of a work in progress right now, but the point is that all of this land for 13 miles is now part of a new state park.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a little different from the beaches in Orange County,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, not as many people and lots more space, and it's a wonderful thing being up here.
And how's the surfing?
Oh, pretty good. You know, it's colder water, but my wetsuit's a little thicker. but you know, it's you got to find your spots, pick your spots, because there's not a whole lot of breaks, but when you find them, they're great. No crowds, and so a lot of longboarders, so it's fun. Older guys that have been here for years, so I'm just the new kid on the block.
Welcome to the Central Coast.
Thank you, appreciate it. Appreciate your show, Huell.
This is your playground right here.
I love it.
Now this is interesting. Right here off the beach, is this fresh water?
Yes, this is Arroyo Laguna, where this area is named after.
Oh, this is the arroyo.
This is the Arroyo, the Lagoon Creek, and right now it's in a lagoon state.
All right, so this is fresh water here. And how would this work in to the new state park?
Freshwater always attracts all sorts of wildlife out here. And in addition to our bull, we have oftentimes lots of birds that come by in the Pacific Flyway. Periodically we'll see egrets, herons, long-billed curlews.
So this will be an attractive spot for bird watchers to come and do their thing.
Bird watchers and occasional family users out here. A lot of kids like to play in the water.
Yeah, this is really nice, clean, fresh water. And there's the historic Hearst family bull sitting over there looking out over all this. He doesn't look very impressed by this new state park.
Well, he doesn't really know it is a state park, much like everybody else out here, but like the frequent users, he's just enjoying the neighborhood.
Now we've done it. We've left the big Hearst bull, and now we're looking at, what are we looking at, Leander?
We're looking at elephant seals just hauled up on the beach, just south of the Piedras Blancas Lighthouse.
This is spectacular. There are a lot of, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it? There are usually even more than this.
Come wintertime, we're just going to be elbow to elbow, fin to fin with elephant seals out here.
Don't they mate up here?
That's the mating season, the wintertime.
Lots of people like to come and watch the seals mate.
It's pretty exciting out here.
And look at this. We've got all kinds of people here. Come on over here. Let's take a look at what's going on. Now, is this technically, or is this a state park?
It is now. This is part of the Hearst acquisition property, and so now it once belonging to the Hearst Corporation, and with the transition, it's now ours.
But for years, people have been coming here. So again, was this one of those kind of
through an agreement with Caltrans and the Hearst Corporation, they were allowing people to come out here to take a look at the elephant seals.
Even though technically up until this point, this had been private Hearst land.
It's kind of hard to keep people away from nature, Huell.
Absolutely. Let's walk on over here because we wanted to hook up with this lady. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Hi, Huell.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Your
to meet
name
you.
is?
Michelle Roost.
All right, now we're standing here. This is a very romantic place we're standing in front of. Well, they're not mating today, so it's not quite as romantic as it usually is here. But you are with the...
I work for the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. And
so why are you here?
Well, I'm a marine biologist, and part of my job is working with the Friends of the Elephant Seal, a nonprofit group that educates the public about the seals here at this Vista Point.
And why are you excited that this is now officially one of our newest state parks here in California?
We're very excited. We love working with state parks as one of our partners, and state parks knows how to manage elephant seals. They have other parks with elephant seals throughout the state. So this area is just going to get better managed. We'll have better access to the public and more information available to them.
Well, how are you going to change this around? It's basically going to look the same, isn't it?
Well, I think they're planning on building a boardwalk, much like the boardwalk to the south, that will allow the public to safely view the wildlife without disturbing them. And we're really supportive of safe and responsible wildlife viewing, so we're excited about that.
So it's only going to get better.
Absolutely.
Who's this guy over here? You look like you know what you're doing. Well, you've got on a jacket that says Friends of the Elephant Seal.
That's exactly right.
So tell us what you do here. Are you a docent?
I'm a docent. And after we've gone through a month of training from people like Michelle, then we volunteer up to 4 times a month to come out here for a few hours at a time. And we talk to tourists, people that stop by, and tell them about the elephant seals, and they have a ton of questions, and we try to answer all of them.
Now that it's becoming a state park, will you be able, you're still going to be doing this, you'll probably be working even harder.
I certainly hope so. I strongly endorse this becoming a state park.
They're taking pictures of the elephant seals. Are you focusing in real good there?
I'm stranger. I don't speak English.
You are from?
Czech Republic.
The Czech Republic. Do you have things like this?
Yeah, it's a very nice view. Yeah.
Can we take your picture standing in front of these?
Yeah.
Here, turn around. We'll get a nice picture of you from the Czech Republic. Your name is?
Adela.
She's standing in front of California elephant seals. Michelle, look what we got going out here.
Yes, these are young elephant seals. and they're practicing fighting. We call it mock fighting. It's something that young males do from a very young age, and they practice sparring with each other.
So there's a lot to see when you come out here.
Yes, there are elephant seals almost during all seasons of the year, and they go through different phases of their life cycle. As you know, during the winter time, they're having their pups and mating, but then they come back in the spring and the summer to molt.
This kind of looks like their off season. It looks like their resting season right here. They're not expending a lot of energy out here right now.
Well, they conserve energy by coming out onto the beach. That's why it's so important that they have safe places to haul out like this. And these seals are actually resting up in preparation for the upcoming breeding season, which will be starting in about a month.
We got an excited family who's just pulled in from
Los Banos, California.
All right, now, how did you find out about this place? Why did you stop here?
Well, just because we've seen a lot of people stopped here late last night. It was not dark yet, but where we could still see the seals. And we stopped by, and it was really cold, and we had to get over because we had reservations at Hearst Castle. So we came back this morning because it was so interesting to us yesterday, so we want to spend a little bit of time here.
Well, what do you think about this place?
It's wonderful, wonderful.
Have you gotten good pictures?
Very good pictures, yes.
Yeah, now you'll have to come back. When do they mate, Michelle?
December through March.
December through March. If you come back, you can actually watch them mating.
Oh, that's wonderful. Just what I want to see.
All these people are just pouring in, and this site has been here for how many years?
Oh, probably the 90s. The elephant seals started landing on the beach here, and it's pretty much grown exponentially. It's bigger than the colony at Año Nuevo, and up to 14,000.
And how have people found out about this place? It's really just kind of been word of mouth, hasn't it?
A lot of it has been word of mouth. A lot of it has been just people interested in nature, going on the internet and looking up elephant seals and finding it's right in their backyard.
So now in the official description of this state park, you're going to be promoting the fact that people can come here, and isn't it going to hold some kind of a record?
Well, yes, it is the largest mainland colony for the northern elephant seal anywhere. And that's happened only in the last 15 years. Prior to that, most of the elephant seals were up at Año Nuevo, and now this colony exceeds the number of pups born.
So this new state park, San Simeon State Park, is going to not only be a place where windsurfers hang out and elephant seals hang out, but it's going to be the primo elephant seal place anywhere in California.
That's right. If you're the kind of person who goes for the record, you're going to come here to see the elephant seals.
Trail ends here. Fragile dune habitat, please stay off. So is there going to be eventually a trail that goes all the way down the coast?
All through our new acquisition, eventually.
What do you mean eventually?
Well,
it's all still a work in progress.
We're still working on it. We have to find out what's on our land. We have to figure out if there's any sensitive habitat we're going to be trampling on, and we want to avoid that. We want to do this right, Huell. So it's going to be in our property, in our possession for the state of California forever. So just a little bit of time might make the biggest difference.
I'm looking down here. There are more elephant seals down here. There's also, that looks like a kind of a mini sand dune down there.
This area here has quite a few sand dunes. It's a natural part of the progression of sand on the beach and moving down along the coast.
Boy, I gotta tell you, I mean, look at this. I guess there are no bad views anywhere up and down here, but all of this is just so spectacular looking at it. I know it's a beautiful day. It's probably, though, just as beautiful in its own way, even when it's foggy and colder up here.
Even in inclement weather, people come out here for the open space, being able to commune with nature, and just being out here with nature itself.
You know, I think that's what I love about the Central Coast beaches so much, is that they seem so isolated, and they're never really crowded like the beaches in Southern California.
And that's the big draw for people coming out here.
Walking down this beach, I bet there haven't been 1,000 people total on this beach in the last 100 years. Would you think that?
It's been known only to a few locals and a couple of transients, so I suspect that's probably right.
So the locals on this part of the Central Coast have probably known about this, but nobody else. I mean, it's not on any maps. It's not part of any, there's no easy access to this. So this is really, when I say 1,000 people have been here in 100 years, a lot of them are the same people that keep coming back. And other than that, this place has been absolutely deserted.
It's a hidden beach, much like a lot of the coastline that we've just acquired.
Yeah, and you know, you also, there you go again, when we think about the fact that because it's been so isolated, it's been protected.
That's right. We want to keep the protection. This is part of the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary, and now the land here is a state park, so the land and the sea will be protected for generations to come. That's a good thing, and it benefits everyone.
Ranger Tamoria is opening up yet another gate because, Michelle, once again, this used to all be private Hearst family land.
Yes, it did.
All right, now, do we know what this would have been? Would this have been
Range land for cattle.
So this would have had cattle out here, Hearst cattle, all these years.
That's correct.
And do we know what might have been going on here even before that?
Well, there might have been native populations of California natives, the Indians out here. We also had a whaling station a little bit further north, so you never can tell what we might find if we start investigating what we have.
There's a lot of stuff maybe hidden out in here.
A lot might be hidden. We're still in the process of trying to figure out what's there.
All right, we know there's a trail down here. Now, could this be part of this new coastal trail that you're thinking about putting together, or do you know that yet either?
We're still in the planning stage, Huell. Just like I said, we're still trying to find out what's there and what we might disturb if we put a trail in.
Well, there's a trail here already.
There's an existing trail where people have been walking against the law out here to view the sites out here.
Yeah, well, we got a trail here. I'm not sure how long this one's going to stay, but you're smiling from ear to ear, Michelle, because when you look out here, you get very excited about the possibilities.
That's right. This is a practically pristine marine environment, and it has several unique habitats, including the kelp forests and the rocky shoreline. You can see there's abundant wildlife here. We've got a western grebe out in the water. We just saw a snowy egret, black turnstones. It's really fabulous habitat for lots of marine wildlife.
Have I spotted some otters out there?
Well, Huell, you've been fooled. That's bull kelp.
Bull kelp. Well, it looks like little otter heads out there.
Yes, it does.
Look at all that out there.
Even a trained sea otter biologist can be fooled by bull kelp every now and then.
So what is that, the top of the kelp? What is?
It's an air-filled bulb that helps the top of the kelp float on the ocean surface, and then the fronds leaf out from the head.
Boy, there's a lot of, when you start looking, there's a lot of kelp out here.
Kelp like the rocky shoreline area. They like cold, clean water, and they provide habitat for a variety of species.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you find kelp, you find living things, don't you?
Yes, you do. The rockfish like to hang out in kelp. Lots of organisms live off the kelp.
Look at this. Now you can really see it out there. They're just popping up all over the place. There's a lot of kelp here.
This is one of the richest areas for kelp in the world. The central coast of California is one of the richest areas for kelp in the world.
Well, before we left this place, I had to do just a little more hiking down this trail because you just don't get the opportunity to have experiences like this often. I mean, but of course, this is something that everybody's going to be able to do before long, and you all have brought us here because you wanted to show us this landmark that's out here. What are we looking at, Michelle?
Now, this is the historic Piedras Blancas Lighthouse. It was established in 1874 as an aid to navigation by the Coast Guard. It's been owned by the Coast Guard up until a few years ago, and now the Bureau of Land Management is refurbishing it and will soon be opening it up for tours.
Now, how do state parks work into all of this?
Now, State Parks is involved in bringing people out on bus tours, third Saturday of every month. Take about 100 people out there, view the Lighthouse grounds, get a picturesque view in a historic setting with people dressed up in costume.
And now with all of this additional land, people will be able to hike and get an even better view of it than they've ever been able to do in the past.
Opening up the lands for views and recreation is part of our priorities.
And Michelle, BLM is hoping to kind of do some restoration and make it even more accessible too, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're restoring both the lighthouse facilities themselves, and they're also protecting a really wonderful intertidal area around Piedras Blancas Point. That's also an area where the gray whale migration comes very close to shore, and there's a research program going on to document the cow-calf migration of gray whales as they move north.
Boy, there is a lot going on out here, isn't there? And see, I never even knew that lighthouse existed. It's kind of hidden out here, isn't it?
A little bit hidden, but once you drive on the highway, you can't miss it.
Yeah, but you're not able to, it hasn't been easily accessible.
It's been closed to the public for the last 138 years.
Yeah, and that's going to change too eventually. So there's a lot of opening up going on around here.
Eventually.
Well, we are ending our adventure back. We had to come back to my favorite place. We have seen some beautiful places today on this tour, but this one is my absolute favorite, especially now that the wind has come up. You feel like you're alive when you're up here. And of course, I love state parks, but anytime we can visit a new state park and know that this is going to be here and protected for future generations. The Hearst family were great stewards of the land up until now, but from here on out, it belongs to the people of California, and it's going to be here for generations to come. Thank you so much for this wonderful preview tour. It's going to be open to the public in a couple of years, hopefully, after all the surveys and everything is plotted out and planned out. And I got to tell you, you cannot come here and not be moved by the beauty and the grandeur of this place. This wonderful place, San Simeon State Park, right here on our state's glorious Central Coast. This park that will soon be open for all of us to enjoy and will definitely be one of California's golden parks. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed our visit to San Simeon State Park. And if you'd like to go on this adventure again or share it with your family and friends, it's available on video cassette and on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727 and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.
This presentation of California's Golden Parks was made possible by Toyota, who wants you to get out and see these incredible parks for yourself. Toyota is committed to preserving their natural beauty with its hybrid synergy drive technology in vehicles like the Prius, Highlander Hybrid, and Camry Hybrid. Lower emissions and higher gas mileage help hybrid synergy drive vehicles have a minimal impact on our natural wonders. We'll see you next time on California's Golden Parks.